Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Hillman. I'm so happy to be here to explain my favorite part of our website, which is booking management. And I guess first I'll start off by kind of giving a little overview of booking management. So it's the part of our website where you can track all of your bookings. So all of your vacationers that are coming to stay with you, you can keep track of them all in one place. So you can track the dates that they're coming. You can track the money they owe you, what they've paid already. And then there are a lot of other details about the rental group or their stay that you can track within booking management as well. But some people just use booking management just for the dates. So that's okay if you just want to use it just for the dates to keep track of when people are going to arrive and leave, and then it'll block out your calendar. But then, many people use it for the date and the money that people owe. And then a lot of people use it for all of the features as well, but don't feel like you have to get a handle of all the features right away. Okay, so first I'm going to share my screen so I can just kind of step you right through how we are going to use booking management. So one moment. Okay, so you should all see the homeowner center. Does everybody see that?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, great. Okay, so here we are. This is what your typical homeowner center looks like. And then over here on the right-hand side, you can see where we have the guest tracker section for your email inquiry history, as well as booking management. So this is where we're going to work today, mostly in the booking management section right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and that will bring us into the booking management. Just going to move this over here. Okay, so now this main page here is where all of your booking records will be visible. So many of you who haven't used this yet will have nothing here, but this is where after you create any booking records, the name of your vacationer and the dates that they're staying will appear in this list here. And this is sort of a quick overview screen of all of your booking records. So it just has a few details about each record, but if you click on this edit part here, that will bring you into the booking record and show you all of the details about this particular vacationer or rental party. But quickly, I'll explain here. So you've got the arrival and the departure dates. The name, I just have a last initial on mine here just because I was going to be showing it to so many people, but I would encourage you to put their full name first and last name here, because this is only for you to see. Your vacationers can't see any of this. So it's just for your personal use. So as much detail as you can add, the better. And then their booking status is here. So most of these people are booked, but you can see this one, Courtney, she's just tentative right now. She hasn't confirmed that she's going to be returning on those dates yet. And then the tracking status, we'll get into more of how this operates once I show you the full entry, but basically this is going to tell you if you're up to date with everything you need to do with this rental party, or if, like this one here for Marianne, I've got something coming up that I need to take care of. And then over here, I can edit any of these booking records at any time, make updates, or I can copy it. So for example, with Courtney, she was here last year and I just copied her record over to use again next year. Okay, so that's kind of explains this main page for the most part. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do a new entry. So what we're going to do is we're going to click right here on full entry. And then that is going to open up a new booking record. So this is where you'll start when you have a vacationer who is, usually it's somebody who's very serious about staying in your home. You've had a conversation with them. They really want to stay, and you're ready to get moving with all the details to get them set up to stay in your house. So the beginning of this page is just the basic booking information. So you're going to put the arrival date. So I'll go ahead and I'll fill out a sample arrival. So let's just skip over to June here. Let's do the first week in June. I'm going to say this person is going to be tentative until they sign their rental agreement. And once they've signed it, I'll come back in here, I'll edit this and I'll change it to be booked. But for now, we'll put them as tentative. I'm going to leave their check-in and check-out time as the standard. I can make a note of how many adults are in the group and how many children. And then you can even make a note of the children's ages here, which is just helpful in your communication with them, you know, maybe closer to the arrival date. If you have young kids, you might ask if there's anything special they need for the kids. The key code, this is going to be, you know, where if you have a keypad on your front door that is for the lock, you can give them that key code here. And then the source, you can select where you found this vacationer. And then any notes about the vacationer. This is really helpful. So usually after I have that that initial screening call with a vacationer before I agree to let them move on with the rental, I usually ask, you know, a few questions, get to know them, get to know a little bit about their rental party, and then you can put all that information in here in the notes. Because when you're on the phone, it's easy to think, oh yeah, I'll remember this. These people are so funny and fun or whatever. But as soon as you get 3 more rentals, you're going to start getting confused about who's who and which people have been to the Cape before, which haven't. So any kind of important notes you can put in here about the rental party to help you keep track. Okay, so then moving down, we have a pricing summary right here. So this is where you can put the rental rate in. So let's say we're just going to put a random amount, $4,000 a week. And then once you click enter, this section actually automatically calculates the taxes for you, which is a new feature we have, which is pretty exciting. And this is connected to your listing. So my listing states that my taxes are 14.45% because I'm in Orleans, and then that just is automatically pulled into here. So if your town has a slightly different tax rate, that will be adjusted right here. But of course, always double check and make sure that this is what your tax rate is supposed to be. So then it'll go ahead and total that up. So I'll get back to this section later, the additional fees. But this is also another place where things like your cleaning fee or linen fee can be pulled in automatically, which can be really helpful. And I'll show you how to make that happen when we scroll down in another minute. Okay, so that's the pricing. And then vacationer contact info. So this is where you're going to want to put the name, last name, email, and the preferred contact is maybe how they want to be contacted. So some people really prefer a phone call. Some people would rather get an email, etc. And this isn't mandatory, but it's just helpful to remember if you're talking with someone and they're like, oh yeah, I always respond to my phone calls, but I never check my email. So it's just good to make a note of that so you're not trying to contact them by email later. You can mark if this is a repeat guest, or if they say, you know, we want to come back every summer, you can mark that as well. This is a kind of a free form field to keep track of any extra fees and services that you might need to keep track of with them. And then you can disable any automated reminders. So again, this is another thing we're going to get to later. And actually, these will be in the phase 2 of the booking management training, because the automated reminders are really helpful and very cool, but they're a little bit tricky and nuanced. So we'll probably dedicate a whole session to those. And if you do want to do the automated reminders, it's really important that you put the email in right here. Otherwise, they can't get any emails unless their email's listed here. Okay, and then contact information. If you have their address and their phone numbers, you can go ahead and put that in here. And then the communications and tracking part. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is a newer section of booking management that we just added a little over a year ago, and it's pretty awesome. So this is where you can keep track of a lot of different items for this particular booking. So the rental rate just got pulled from above, so that's just plopped in because I entered that above. But then you can keep track of all these other things that you just, you need to keep track of for each rental, and you can just make a note of if they've been taken care of or if they're still due or pending. And again, all this information is just for you as the homeowner. This information is not being shared with the vacationer, so they don't know what you put in here for payment 1 or payment 2. This is just your information, and it's up to you to share that with them when their payment 1 is due or when their payment 2 is due. Okay, so the first one here, so let's say lease sent. So for the due date of lease sent, you probably want to do that, I would say, like within a week of when you're collecting, or when you're entering this booking record. So let's say, if today's the 18th, you probably want to make sure you get that lease sent to them within a week. Usually I say it's going to be next day, but of course everybody has a different schedule, and it's up to you to set your own schedule for when you want the lease sent. But you do want to try to do that pretty quickly right away, so you don't lose this renter. And then once it's completed, once I've actually sent it, so usually I send it through a DocuSign type format, I go ahead and I can come in here and I can put the date that I completed it. So I could say, if I was supposed to send it on the 19th and I did it, then I'll say completed by the 20th. And then the lease received, many people request that the lease is received within a week or 2 weeks of when the vacationers have gotten the lease. So again, this is just for your eyes only. So the vacationer is not going to see when this is due, but I'm going to say I want those leases back within a week. So 1 week from the 19th is going to be the 26th. So, and then as soon as I receive the lease from the vacation, I can go ahead and mark that I received the lease from them. And then the same with the payments here. You can break up the payments into whatever amount you want. So you can list that out in payment 1, payment 2, and payment 3. Some people only do 1 payment. Some people do 2 payments, kind of whatever you want to do to break it up. But typically you do about half in payment 1 and you do about half in payment 2. And then a lot of times people add on the security deposit and the taxes to the payment 2 as well. So again, you can set the due dates of when you want those due. So maybe the first one is due within a week of when the lease is signed, and then the second one is due maybe 2 months before they arrive for their vacation. And then you can also list the security deposit in here as well, and your cleaning fee, linen fee, any other fees. So these here, you can hand type those in. Or if you have them already listed in your listing, I can pull them in by applying my default settings. So what that is up here, you can see it says apply defaults. So if I click on that, it's going to go ahead and add in my security deposit and my cleaning fee. So again, that was right up here, apply defaults. I just clicked that. And because I already had my security deposit and my cleaning fee in the other part of my listing. So let's see, I think it's right here under calendar and pricing. It's kind of below all these boxes here. If you keep scrolling down, you can fill in your additional fees in calendar and pricing area. And then when you click on in the booking management, you click apply defaults, these numbers will get pulled in. So I don't have anything for pet or linen, but if I did, those would be pulled in as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my booking record. So now I'm back here in the booking record. I've just clicked apply default. So it pulled in my security and my cleaning fee. And then I can go ahead and say, when I want that cleaning fee to be paid by. And then once I receive that cleaning fee, I can fill it in under date completed. And same with security deposit, I can put in a due date and then when that's completed. Okay, so some other fees, cleaning, linen, pet fee, you can hand type those in if you'd like those. I can keep track of when I want the check-in info and keys to be sent. So again, it's not necessarily a real key that you're sending. If you have a key code, that would be the same here. And you can select when you want that due date to be. and then when you're going to send the pre-arrival information or the pre-departure information, when the keys have been returned, if you are using real keys. And then this right here is when you want to request a guest review. So you can put when you're going to request that guest review. So this would be, you know, the day they leave, as I'm saying, you know, thanks so much for staying. Your family was great. I can go ahead and go into my homeowner center under guest reviews and request that they write a guest review for me. And I can also track that the security deposit has been returned to them. If there was any sort of refund that I needed to refund them for. And then these are some kind of open fields that I have set myself. So I like to personally keep track of the method of the security payment, just so I can make sure I'm paying them back in the same method. Like, did they pay me the security by Venmo? Then I pay them back by Venmo, you know, that sort of thing. And then these are called the miscellaneous fields. So you can fill in anything you want for the miscellaneous fields to track those. Okay, so that is the booking record. You always want to make sure you click save at the end of it. Oh, but I didn't show you up at the top. Okay, so once I added my cleaning fee in down here, up at the top, under additional fees, it went ahead and it pulled that additional fee in right here. You can see the $200 cleaning fee is added right here. So then that updated the taxes that are due. And then I also have security deposit that got added in here to help formulate the grand total here for them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click save, and it just gives me a little pop-up that if I changed any numbers, the lodging tax will be recalculated. So then I click OK, and then it's going to bump me back out to my my main booking management page. So all my bookings right here. So this is the one I just created. You can tell because I didn't actually put a name in, and that's tentative. And then under tracking status, you can see I have some things that are coming due that I have to take care of. So, you know, if this was a real booking, I would say, oh, I've got something due. Why don't I check and see what that is that I have that's due? And I can click on edit right here. And that's going to reopen the full booking record so that I can go in and make an edit, and I can say, you know, maybe I received the lease, so I can update that and say that I received the lease. Okay, so let's go out of here one more time. And then back on the main booking record page, you can see here, if I click this little caret over here, it's going to show me an overview of everything that I have set up for this rental party. So, I mean, I'd encourage you to fill everything in as best you can, but you know, you don't need to use every field, and any field you filled in will have a little due date of when this item is due for you. So it's just a way to keep track of what's coming up and what you have to take care of for each rental party. And then you can do expand all, so then I can just scroll through and see if, you know, I've got anything coming up for anybody that's due, but I'll collapse that back down. You can also sort. So right now it's set to filter this to all future bookings. But if I was working on some tax things or something, I could set a specific range and go back and pull everything from last summer or something. And then speaking of taxes, you can also click on reports right here, or you can click on export. And that's a way to pull all the information into an Excel spreadsheet so that you can manipulate your data and figure out, you know, what your total income for the year was, or what you owe for the month of July, or what your income was for the month of July to help you calculate your taxes for that amount of time. So that is what I wanted to cover for the basics of booking management today. But then I do just want to touch quickly on what will be included in phase 2. And then I'm going to show you our help page as well, in case you have questions about what happened today, or if you have questions about something I haven't covered yet. It should all be covered in our help page as well. So really quickly, I'm just going to kind of give you a little teaser for what the booking management phase 2 is going to be. So here I am in a booking record, and we went over all this already today, but if you go here to the apply defaults section, oops, I'm sorry, the settings section, settings. And so now I'm setting up some of the automated things that we can do here. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can send these automated guest emails, and you can send them automatic emails telling them when their payments are due. You can send them an automatic email telling them the information for their pre-arrival. So that would be like a welcome book that you might have digitally, or just some information about the house, or what amenities you have at the house, or how many beach chairs you typically have, or something like that. Any information you're going to send to them in advance. You can set that up so it's automatically sent to each guest, and you can set the amount of time that it arrives. So I have it sent 60 days before their arrival, which you can do whenever you want. And then the same for pre-departure. 1 day before they depart, I have a whole bunch of information I send them for their departure, just, little reminders of what to do to clean up and when checkout is, etc. So all of this we're going to dive into in the phase 2, and it's pretty helpful. It's a little more complicated than just the basic booking. But then also I'll show you where our help page is. So if you're here on our homepage, just weneedavacation.com, to get to our help page, you're just going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Most of you probably know this already, but just in case, help and info is right down here under the homeowner section. This is all the way at the bottom of the page. Click on help and info. And then there's a whole wealth of knowledge in here. Anything you could ever want to know about We Need a Vacation website is right here. And booking management has its own section. And, you can just scroll through and do a little refresher. Let me just put this, there's a summary over here on the side. So if you click on how to, this gives you all the areas. And yeah, okay. So that's the help page. So now I guess we're going to open it up to some questions. And I just ask that you have something that's super specific, like you're having a problem with booking management, or it's something you think isn't going to be helpful to the whole group. Maybe just send that to support@weneedavacation.com, and we can help you directly. But if you feel like you've got a question that will benefit the group, and or maybe something I skimmed over too quickly, feel free to unmute and ask the question. And actually, first, maybe I'll check in with Sam or Diane if anything came up in chat that you want to address before we open it up to everyone.
Carrie, I have a question or just an addition. You might remind everyone that when you click on booked, it will book your calendar, your actual calendar. It'll show it as booked. If you identify a booking as not actually booked but tentative, it does not affect the calendar at all. So that you don't want to mark something as tentative if you're not exactly sure that they're going to follow through, because then if it booked it on your calendar, you would be missing out on other potential prospects. So, there's a distinction there.
Right. Okay. So I can show you here. So let's see. So this June, I think when I made that booking, it was for the first week of June, right? When we just did that sample booking. So you can see here, it is not X'd out. It's gray because I made it tentative, but only I can see this dark gray part. However, this week here is a week that I actually truly booked in booking management. And this is gray and also all checked off. But you can see I can't edit it here in the calendar. That's because I have to go to booking management to edit this. So if you see something like this appear on your calendar, it just means that it's connected to a booking record, if that makes sense.
And it also prevents people from double booking. So if you,
Yeah, so if I created a booking record that was, say, July 4th through 8th, then when I tried to save that booking record would prompt me, they'd give me a little error that says we can't save this booking record because it overlaps with a pre-existing booking record. So it's really helpful in that way to prevent any kind of double bookings.
and one more detail, Carrie, can you explain optional under the additional fees? The checkbox for optional?
Optional, yes. Yep. Okay, so let's leave this. Okay, so I'm going to go back to booking management. And I'm going to go to this sample one. Okay, so here we are in the booking record. Again, this is where we were working earlier. And if you scroll all the way down to, Joan, is that in settings? Is that where I find that?
No, I thought it was in the additional, oh, maybe it's on the calendar itself, additional pricing field.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. Okay, so this is under calendar and pricing, where you get here from your homeowner center, right? The place where you're looking at the calendar. And so down here, so you've got your cleaning fee, your pet fee, linen fee, and you can click here if it's an optional fee. So let's say I have a $150 pet fee, but it's only for people who bring a dog. Then I can click right there. And that is made optional. And then correct me if I'm wrong, Joan, but if I click optional, this doesn't automatically get pulled into the booking record, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So whereas cleaning fees will automatically be pulled into the booking record, the pet fee, I will still have to manually add that in for the guests who are bringing a pet. Any other additions, Joan or Sam or Diane from the chat?
Yeah, I actually had one, Carrie, but you answered most of it because you went later on after I'd asked it regarding sending automatic notifications to the vacationers, payment reminders, or welcome packet, welcome kit, whatever. And yeah, I don't know where those templates are saved, but I'll figure that out. But you showed 3 of them in that example that you could have sent. Is there any limit to the number of auto notifications you can have and scheduled to be sent?
It's only those 3 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Unless you have multiple payments scheduled, it will send one for each payment that is scheduled.
In addition to those 3 there?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Is there plans to add more?
I don't know.
Add drip campaigns or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Very good.
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question if anybody, if we didn't get to anything. This is casual.
Hi. I was hoping that we could get a review of contract management. I see that there's a place where you can put in the basic contract. How can you change it so that you're just changing it for the individual, but not changing the template?
So unless I missed the update, I don't think there's a way to add the contract in here yet, Joan, right? There's not a way to add.
Don't think so, no.
So, so let me just navigate back to the booking record here. So for right now, all you can do is track that you've sent the lease. But you can't actually send the lease through booking management yet. We're hoping that that might be a feature someday. But for now, you're just individually sending the lease or the rental agreement to each different rental party. And of course, you can edit it before you send it to the rental party.
You'll be able
Okay.
to send that with an email template though, right? They could add that as an attachment. We didn't get into the email templates.
Some of our email templates, you can add attachments. I'm just not sure if we can add like a unique rental agreement attachment. I think it would have to be like a, generalized sort of blank rental agreement, which I wouldn't recommend sending.
Okay, thank you.
But you
So,
can put attachments on the like pre-arrival emails and things, the emails that are automated that we have set up in booking management. There are some attachments that you can put there.
Yes, and again, those would have to be like a generalized attachment that can be sent to anyone. It's like all the same kind of check-in information. We do have a few fields where you can actually make it more specific to the vacationer, but that's really more for phase 2 booking management discussion.
I have a question.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions I put in the chat. But the first one is about setting the rate. I don't usually start and end on the same day every time. I let the vacationer choose when to start. And so sometimes their rental period overlaps different rate periods. And so I've been managing that in my spreadsheet with like a bunch of different columns, but is there a way to manage that in the booking management? For instance, like what if they rent 2 weeks and it's, the last week of June and the first week of July or something like that, and those are different rate periods? Or if they rent only like 5 days or 9 days, something that is not a regular week?
That's a great question. So the rental rate, you're just populating this field on your own. So it's not pulling this information based on the dates that you have up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that's up to you to make those
I just
calculations.
calculate
And then
that.
you just put the number in here, but then the additional fees and the taxes are automatically pulled in. So if you want, so say somebody only stayed 2 nights, so that changes your cleaning fee maybe, or it changes your security deposit. You can go down to this section and override the security deposit. So say you just wanted to do 300 because they're only staying 1 night or something, then you could override that, click save, and then it should put that back into here. I'll go back to this edit so you can view the whole thing again. And so here is the security deposit updated to just be the $300 instead of $500.
Okay, great. I just have 2 quick questions also. When the automatic emails come, when they're sent, are they coming from the We Need a Vacation email address, or is my name or my property's name going to be on it?
So that's a good question. I believe you can set the subject. I think the subject you can edit. And so you could put, your name and or property ID number in that. But then I can't remember who it comes from. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Last really quick question.
I
If
can get
I
back to you on that.
if I confirm a booking and then it gets changed, is it easy to just go back and edit it just the way you've been showing us? Or is it like,
Yep. Yeah, you just click on that edit on the right-hand side. It's going to open this whole thing up. If someone, was tentative and they're like, yes, I'm in, book me, I really want this week, you can change it to booked. If they let you know that they had to cancel because of some reason, you can mark it as canceled. And again, you know, tentative is just a way to keep track of them until they decide that they really want to stay. And then anything else can be changed as you move along.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Carrie, I believe that Jeff asked if you could make a booking either through your calendar or the booking management, if you could do one or the other, and the answer is no. If you try to do it on, you forget you're using booking management or something, and you go to your calendar to show a booking, it won't allow you to. It will say you must, you know, go to booking management, because if you do it that way, you're mixing, you know, two different programs, and it's just not, you could lose accuracy. You should, you know, use the booking management to establish bookings. But some of you might have bookings already for next summer. And so if you go to booking management now to start, you know, to start using it, it won't allow you to if you've already shown on your calendar those weeks as booked. So what you'd have to do is, let's say you have already booked the first week of July, I believe you'd have to go to your calendar and unbook it, and then go to booking management and put it in.
Yeah. So like this example here, I just shut these days down because I was pretty sure my family was going to be there. So what you could do is, you know, open this up and then go into booking management, and then I could create a booking record to say, you know, I'm sure my family's going to be using it that week. And then I would create a booking record to track the dates and departure of my family members that are going to be there for that week. Or if it's a real booking, you know, if it's like a real vacationer. Right? That's what you're trying to explain, Joan?
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, you can provide the source, and it could be We Need a Vacation, or it could be friends and family. You know, it's just, if it's unavailable, you just want to show it as unavailable in your booking management. You won't need, if your family's staying there, you won't need to fill anything else out. Just show it as friends and family.
So that'd be right here, source. So you could select friends and family, other, repeat.
Well, it looks like you've answered everybody's questions.
I was gonna say, any other questions?
Excuse me. I think I have a quick question. It's a little bit unrelated to necessarily the bookings. I'm very new actually at this, and I haven't spent enough time. Sorry, let me introduce myself. My name's Sandra. I don't know. I did shut my camera off.
That's
Sorry. So I do need to spend more time navigating through the website. Looks like a great website. I'm just curious, my question would be, what is the main difference between using your website and Airbnb? It looks like maybe there's no fees associated with your website. Is that correct? Like host fees and management fees?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, so, and then I guess another question that I'm thinking would be, what is the best way to advertise through We Need a Vacation? There must be a link that you can like put on social media, or how do you normally get your bookings? Actually, sorry, so there's two questions. I'm also off Cape, and I did sign up for We Need a Vacation back in July. I didn't get one inquiry, which doesn't, I mean, maybe I didn't advertise well, but I was wondering if it's more of an on Cape thing, or do you guys get a lot of off Cape? And this might be too specific, I'm sorry.
Well, I'd love to talk to you about this, Sandra. Can you just email me, Joan, at
Yeah.
We Need Vacation? And
Yeah.
we can discuss it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Well, I had a question if you have a minute. I'm Susan and my camera's not working, so I'm not showing up. But my question was this, is we had a lot of people this past summer put in like inquiries about this week, is this available, this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, so we mark them as like the dates are tentative, and then we never hear from them. How long is it appropriate to wipe out that tentative thing and put some and leave it open for other people? Like, is there a protocol or something? How do you deal with people who just disappear?
Do you want me to take this one, Joan, or do you want to?
Sure, you can take it.
So typically if someone inquires, I just do a very quick entry and mark them as tentative, just so I don't forget that they inquired. And then I try to keep the conversation going with them as much as I can right away. And then if I haven't heard back in 2 days, I'll follow up, even a day, really. You should follow up and say, you know, are you still interested? Is your party still looking for a place? And then if they don't respond to that, are you still interested? They're probably not going to respond to you. They probably moved on to somebody else. But, you know, I just keep them there until I get somebody else who's interested in that week. You know, because who knows, once in a while, 2 weeks later, somebody comes back and says, oh, I actually still want that week. So it doesn't hurt to keep them marked as tentative. It doesn't block out your calendar. It just keeps them there on the list. And as soon as they say they want to be booked, you can change them to be booked. And then that way you have their name and at least initial contact information right there in booking management. But there are a lot of people who don't follow up. They just, you know, picked another house that was a better fit for their family and they went with that. And then maybe they sent 10 inquiries to start with. So I don't think you need to be super worried if people don't follow through every time, if that makes sense. Would you add anything else to that, Joan?
No, I just think that you're right, that it would be wonderful if everyone who inquired about your house and expressed interest in it followed up and said, oh, I changed my mind, or I need a bigger home, or I decided on something a little closer to the beach, or whatever. Some people will do that and others will not. They just disappear. And, you know, but you should follow up. If you don't hear from them in a few days or even a week, you know, you could certainly follow up and say, are you still interested? And if they don't get back to you, then you pretty much know that that they have moved on. But as Carrie said, it does not hurt to keep them there. It doesn't affect your calendar at all. So it doesn't prevent other prospective renters from inquiring about your home.
And I guess to follow up on that, I would say, if you get another inquiry while you're still waiting for someone to get back to you, you can follow up and say, you know, I'd like to hear from you in 6 hours or in 24 hours, or you can give them a timeline to say, you know, we've had another inquiry come in and I really do need a response from you within a certain amount of time, because you don't want to lose that fresh inquiry either, you know, because maybe that person's really serious and wants to book your home, but they'll move on if you say, you know, I've got someone else in line in front of you. So, you know, that happens sometimes. But I would just have a plan that you need a response from someone within a certain amount of time, and then let them know. And if they don't get back to you, then you can give it to the next person.
Thank you.
May I make a comment to the woman who asked about her not having gotten rentals when she signed up in July? Two comments. Most of the time when I've had rentals over the past several years at this point, people have made the inquiries and commitments way earlier than that. as early as the preceding October to April prior to the summer. So that's one thing. The other is, yes, we do pay for We Need a Vacation, but there's definitely value added. For instance, with contacts for other kinds of services and so on. Plus, I find people at the office are great. So don't lose heart. Stick with We Need a Vacation for a while at least. And good luck with future rentals.
Any other questions on booking management that we can answer for you today?
Bill Robertson asked a question.
Mhm.
Phil, let's see. If tentative booking does not respond, we mark them as canceled. Are canceled inquiries archived? So if tenant calls back next year, we can still recognize them.
Okay, great question. So I was going to show you here. So you can sort this page based on status. So say you have a bunch of canceled people in here, you can just go ahead and show, you know, only the booked ones. And then that way it kind of clears out those canceled. And then
You need to reshare.
oh, I'm not sharing anymore?
Nope.
I'm seeing it.
Oh,
I see it.
okay, my mistake.
So yeah, so they're not archived, but you can filter. That answers your question.
Did that answer your question, Phil?
Hey, I had a question. If I want to go and put in my 2023 bookings so that I can use it for tax purposes and have it all documented there, can I do that? What do I need to avoid? Just don't put in date range or anything, or?
You, that's a good question, because you can't access that part of your calendar to unblock it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I guess that would be one way to get around it, is to not put the date range in. But no, but you have to put a date range. It's required.
Maybe just put them all as tentative?
No, because it'll still tell you that those dates are already blocked.
Even though they're past dates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me get back to you on that one. I'll check with our IT team to see if there's a way to get around that.
Okay.
Tina, did you have a question?
I do. I wanted to know on the screen we're on right now where it has future bookings past 6 months and specific range. Is there any way during the high season that can default to like the current time period? I find it frustrating when I've finished with somebody and they're off my screen, but I'm still collecting their money.
Yeah. So I would just advise putting specific range, and then you can do whatever dates you want it to be. And I'm pretty sure if you set a specific range, when you come back to it, it still is showing
Okay.
that.
Okay. And the other question I had is, and I did put this in the chat, but is there any way to disable that pop-up that says they're recalculating the tax rate?
No, I'm sorry. I know it's annoying. Pops up every time.
Every time. And I
Yeah.
always make a mistake and have to go back and fix something and it pops up again.
Yeah. I wonder if we should, that's a good point. Maybe we can add,
Some,
yeah, like a checkbox. I've already seen this.
yeah, yeah.
Don't bother me. Go away.
Go away. I like go away, yeah. But I would also like to sing the praises of booking management because it has saved my bacon a few times when I've put in some dates and it immediately tells me there's already a booking those dates. And it's usually been my mistake where I put the wrong date in or had somebody leaving on a Saturday when they were really leaving Friday. But that warning is fabulous. And I love all the new automated features. I'm very excited about those.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Someone asked when phase 2 might be held.
When are you available? Maybe like next month or the month after, we said, right, Sam?
Yeah, we just have to sort of coordinate around the holidays.
Yeah.
we'll definitely make that announcement. We'll let you know. We have time for
Would
one.
people like
Yeah,
to do it sooner rather than later? I wonder.
I'd like to have it done by the holidays, just because in general, it gets busier with inquiries. They come in more frequently, I think, after, say, the first of the year.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Okay. Anything else? Well, thank you all for coming. You'll all get a recording of this. So keep an eye out in your email for that. And thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah, you're welcome.